Hello everyone, how are you guys doing? Welcome back to another show we're gonna start reacting to. This is Haarute Live, my name is Matt. So I'm probably gonna hate this show, aren't I? We're gonna be watching Chernobyl. You know that because of the title. That's probably the reason why you're here. If you're new, then welcome. This is my channel. I watch shit, and that's it. I also talk a lot. That's it. I'm also Argentinian, so English is not my native language. So with that out of the way, I think we can just go in. A couple weeks ago, I released a video asking people, "Hey, what shows can I watch?" Recommendations, and it wasn't like a poll. It was just like I want to know the general idea of like what are people watching, what they might be interested in. I think I'm gonna be doing a poll like next month, maybe whenever this show is done. Because the reason why I picked this show is because one, I thought it was like kind of thematically like fitting, considering this is replacing Dark, which we finished last week. But also, it's only 5 episodes long, so I thought, fuck it, I'm just gonna watch it. It's just 5 episodes, man. Like we can finish it in like a month. It's quick. However, well, it's also the fact that I heard the show was great. Like the show is like only a couple months old. It from this year. And I heard that it was really good. So I was like, oh, I would like to give that a shot because I usually like historical stories, in media. I don't have a lot of examples, but I do like history. So we're tackling into a pseudo historical, pseudo fictional show that is depicting one of the most fucked up things that ever happened in the history of humanity. So that's fun. But something I actually didn't really know before I made this decision to watch the show was that apparently the show goes hard on just making you feel like shit. Maybe I'm actually setting it up to be worse than it actually is, which would be good. Because I don't like hard to watch shows. But fuck it. We're just gonna do it. Like I could have just switched the show for like Good Omens, which is also like a couple episodes long. So I was like, maybe I could do Good Omens instead. Just watch some like gay angels and demons or whatever the fuck that is about. But I decided, no, fuck it. We're doing it. We're doing it. We're in. Let's go. So we're doing Chernobyl instead. So whenever this show is getting to its end, which is like a couple weeks from now because it's short, I'm gonna be doing some sort of poll or survey or whatever, and people will let me know what to watch then. But for now, this is what we got for December at least. It's gonna be a fun Christmas, won't it? It actually will be. I have plans for Christmas Wednesday uploads. But whatever the case, yeah, let's just go. I'm talking a lot, so let's just go. Yeah, sure. Hopefully, I'll be able to stomach this show. Alright. Alright, so Chernobyl, episode 1. Let's go.
In this story, it was Anatoly Dyatlov. He was the best choice. An arrogant, unpleasant man. He ran the room that night. He gave the orders.
Yeah, this is after the fact, like.
Dyatlov will spend the next 10 years in a prison labor camp. Of course, that sentence is doubly unfair.
There were far greater criminals than him at work. And as for what Dyatlov did do, the man doesn't deserve prison.
He deserves death.
But instead, 10 years for criminal mismanagement. What does that mean? No one knows. It doesn't matter.
It's not necessarily historical. That's not necessarily the point of this. It's actually making a good story, a good show.
About Chernobyl.
Yeah, there wasn't. There sure wasn't.
There, what happened after, even the good we did. All of it. All of it. Madness.
So he recorded a bunch of stuff. A bunch of stuff. That's That's a lot of food, isn't it? Well, he keeps looking at his watch, and there's also a clock for us. Wait a second. I think I know what that. Yep, yeah, that's it. There we go. 2 years and 1 minute earlier. And 1 minute earlier? That's specific. Oh boy. There it is. That's bad. Bitch, you might be dead. Like, I'm not sure to what radius the Chernobyl thing actually affected people. And to what degree, to what radius, you know? But if I was within any distance where I could actually see it, I would think that I am not safe and that I need to fucking go. And even if I wanted to go, I would think that I'm probably fucked already. Oh my god.
What just happened?
I don't know.
There's a fire in the turbine hall.
It exploded.
We know. Akimov will be cooling the reactor core.
We shut it down, but the control rods are still like
So you two get the backup pumps running. We need water moving through the core. That is all that matters.
There is no core. It exploded. The core exploded.
He's in shock. Get him out of here.
No! The core exploded! Bad managing.
Something strange has happened.
Bad managing.
Akimov!
Dude takes metal. Oh no.
Saying it's physically impossible. The core can't explode. It has to be the tank.
What about the fire? Call the fire brigade.
Get more people involved? Well, because they don't know. Well, this motherfucker doesn't want to know. He's the one that is in full denial of like, nah man, we're good. I'm thinking that it's about the worst shit in the universe ever. And it's probably gonna be it, but not immediately, right?
You're not on call tonight?
Bringing everybody in. Military and civil. Pripyat, Polska, Kiev. This is a big one. Are they bombing?
No, you don't. I mean,
What the fuck is this?
it's
3.61. That's as high as it goes. The good one's locked in.
as high as it goes. Oh my god.
Your face.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh! Oh, we go. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, this is what I don't want to see. I don't want to see people blowing from the inside out or whatever. Or like the eyeballs getting fucked. The eyeballs is what it's gonna get me.
Where's Victor? Still in the pump room. Stay here. I'll come back.
Oh my god. This is terrible. I hate it. I hate it so much. Oh, that's terrible. Oh. I mean, okay, it wasn't framed as like a giant choking thing, so it's fine. But it's like, ugh. Oh my god, dude, what? And this motherfucker. And they're bringing more people in, of course. Because of course this happened, you know? Of course they were like, yeah, call the fireman or whatever, you know?
My control panel's not working. I tried calling for the electricians.
I don't give a shit about the panel. I need water in my reactor core. Get down there and make sure those pumps are on.
He keeps sending people in instead of going himself.
3.6 Rontgen, but that's as high as the meter.
3.6. Not great, not terrible.
That's as high as the meter goes, dude! It means that it's higher than that! Is he in full denial, or is he just a dumbass? That's bad. It's terrible. Oh, all these people, god damn it. This is the nuclear factory, dude! Is that part of the reactor that blew up?
You taste metal.
Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. Here's the thing, it was the 80s, dude. Like, people didn't know. People didn't know about all this shit. it was also Russia in the middle of the Cold War, and I'm not Russian, and I'm also wasn't born in the 80s, so I don't know how things were specifically, but I'm imagining that they were not good. In the sense of, like, general public information or whatever.
We need to get into the reactor hall.
Don't go, dumbass.
There are control rods.
It blew up.
There's a call.
It just blew up, dude.
No, you're mistaken. Akimov said.
Akimov can go fuck himself, dude. Look at this man's face. Look at this man's face. Yeah, of course. All these people are just dying of radiation poisoning as well. Ow! I mean, of course it's... Oh, he's the one that grabbed the thing, wasn't he? Put two and two together and run the fuck away. Doesn't metal, like, absorb radiation? Wouldn't anything we touch would just be fucking irradiated to all hell? I mean, we already are irradiated to all hell, I guess, so... Oh my god! That's terrible! No, 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 no! Why are you even close there? Why are you even close to there?
Let's go.
Oh. It's so infuriating. Not infuriating, but it's upsetting to watch this with 2019 hindsight, you know? All the hindsight in the world is the one that I have. But it's like, fuck, man.
I looked right into it. I looked into the core.
And you're fucked as a result.
Did you
I
know
don't...
the control rods or not?
There's no control rods! Look at this
Take
man!
him to the infirmary.
He'll be fine. I've seen worse. Worse than the man that looked straight into the exploded core of Chernobyl?
Electricians, mechanics, we need bodies. How many times do I have to say it?
Dyatlov and Akimov. I'm gonna try to remember those names.
We have the situation under control.
Under control?
Unit Shift Chief Akimov and Engineer Toptonov encountered technical difficulties leading to an accumulation of hydrogen in the control system tank. It regrettably ignited, damaging the plant, setting the roof on fire.
That's not what happened.
Reactor?
We're taking measures to ensure a steady flow of water through the core.
There's no core!
What about radiation?
Obviously down here it's nothing but in the reactor building, I'm being told, 3.6 Rontgen per hour.
Well, that's not great, but it's not horrifying.
Oh my fuck. Look at this establishing shots for random civilians in love that are like, that's like, fuck, man. Oh no, that's... I didn't even realize immediately. Fuck, that's Nukrafalov. Even the babies! Even the younglings! I'm overplaying this fun persona because I'm uncomfortable, by the way. Like, yeah, they spend a nice and long amount of time, so you understand what this is supposed to be, you know? Oh, this is the guy that stood behind with his leg.
It's over.
Is everyone's faces like red already? His face is super red.
We have to get water into the core, otherwise there'll be a meltdown.
There's no core!
If it's true, then we're dead. 1 million people are dead. Is that what you need to hear? We have to open the valves by hand.
By hand. And the number of valves, the amount of time to turn them. You're talking about hours in there.
Then help us.
Help you do what? Pump water into a ditch. There's nothing there.
I mean, here's the thing, is that you can't even blame these people. Because, like, they're like... Either that shit disappear and everyone's dead, or we gotta fix the problem. That might not be real, but fuck it, we're gonna try. You know? Like, they know they're probably gonna die in there, but they're gonna try and pump water into the thing, even though it's not real, even though they can't fix the problem. They don't know that. So they're gonna try and do it, because the alternative is just dying without trying, you know? Like, the only people that know that the gravity of the situation are the random-ass workers that actually went there and saw it. that most of them are dead or dying now. And this meeting is just gonna be like, no, it's fine though.
How dangerous is this?
There's mild radiation, but it's limited to the plant itself.
No, it isn't.
Excuse me.
You saw men outside vomiting. You saw men with burns. There's more radiation than they're saying. We have wives here. We have children. I say we evacuate the town.
But they're not gonna listen to him. Big boy's talking.
It's true. When the people see the police, they will be afraid. But it is my experience that when the people ask questions that are not in their own best interest, they should simply be told to keep their minds on their labor and leave matters of the state to the state. We seal off the city. No one leaves. And cut the phone lines. Contain the spread of misinformation.
How ironic. That's the most fucked up thing about the show. It's not the radiation poisoning. It's not the people falling apart. It's this shit. The politics.
I sent my dosimetrists into the reactor building. The large dosimeter from the safe, the one with 1,000 Röntgen capacity.
What was the number?
There was none. The meter burned out the second it was turned on.
Sends us shit equipment and wonders why things go wrong.
Oh
we found another dosimeter from the military fire department. It only goes to 200 Röntgen, but it's better than the small ones.
And?
It maxed out. 200 Röntgen.
What game are you playing?
How'd you get that number from feed water leaking from a blown tank?
Because that's not the truth, you motherfucker! It's fine. We're fine here. We're chill.
You can look right down into reactor building 4.
Yes,
I'll
do
see
that.
it with my own eyes.
Alright. So...
You go then.
But if you're not believing him anyway, if he goes and sees it and then comes back and reports it to you, which you won't because he'll die immediately, you won't believe him anyway. Everyone in this show that wears a suit should be immediately executed. Everyone that wears a suit should just go immediately. But like, that's it. Like, whenever a disaster like this happens, like, the ones that suffer are never the motherfuckers that are the problem. It's everyone else. We're just watching people just slowly fall apart and die. In an incredibly, like, excruciatingly slow pacing.
I told you. We did nothing wrong.
His face is immediately red. Oh my god, dude. This is your fault. It's just a fire, man. It's fine. You murder all these people. And then went and said to the guys in the meeting, no, it's fine. It's just a fire. And so, like, literally everyone, all the big boys, all the politicians said, no, it's fine. It's just a fire. One guy said we're gonna evacuate the city, and then and then the big boys said no, we're gonna close off the city. Nobody leaves. For some reason, somebody said that. Why would you choose that to be the course of action you want to take? Yeah, he's telling. This is what he said. He came back to tell them, and then they don't believe him. Yeah, this is the hospital. Oh, oh fuck, man, this is gonna be awful. Cat. Oh my god, this cat's also gonna fucking die when
Yodel Legasso is the first deputy director of the Kurchatov Institute of Atomic Energy.
I am. Who am I speaking?
This is Boris Sherbina, deputy chairman of the Council of Ministers and head of the Bureau for Fuel and Energy. There's been an accident at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. Plant manager Brukhanov is reporting 3.6 Röntgen per hour.
That's actually significant. You should evacuate the
You're
surrounding.
an expert.
Do you think, given the amount of radiation, that it would be...
Legato, you're on this committee to answer direct questions about the function of an RBMK reactor if they should happen to arise. Nothing else. Certainly not policy. Do you understand?
Yes, of course. I didn't mean to...
Fuck you. Dude, that gives even more context. The numbers gave me so much more context. The fact that this man who is like the expert hears 3.6 and he goes like, well, that's significant. You should probably evacuate the surface. And they just don't care. They just ignore it. And it's like, 3.6 is significant? For everyone to evacuate the surface? And the thing maxed out at 200. So it's more than 200. Rain stopped, so that didn't last very long. Okay, Mike can go back now. Hello, everybody. We're back. We're back to how things used to be now. The smoke is traveling. Wait, were the trees red? The trees that were under the smoke red specifically? This is a city that has nothing to do with this, is it? Is it a different country? Like Finland or whatever? Ah! Is that the end of this episode? There it is. Alright, that was Chernobyl episode 1. Let's do a discussion now. So it's raining. It's... Fuck, man. Like, the thing about rain is that my ceiling is metal. So you can totally just hear the rain hitting it. And it sucks, man. So I'm actually gonna hold off on this. And I'm just gonna go back to the discussion whenever the rain stops. So, see you then. So rain has subsided a little bit, not a lot. It's still there, but hopefully it'll stay there. So let's talk about Chernobyl, episode 1. So, okay, here's the thing, is that I'm going into this show expecting the absolute worst out of every scene. Made it more bearable. I still had a terrible time watching it. Not because it was bad, it was actually really good, and I actually enjoyed watching it. But I hated what was going on. In the sense that, fucking, dude, like, every scene when we had the fucking lead scientist. I said it, I want to go back, and I'm gonna actually go and do that right now. Who was the guy at the beginning? Someone was actually looking at him, wasn't it? Yeah, somebody in a car saw him. Oh, maybe they weren't. Yeah, it doesn't seem like they were spying on him. They just saw him walk outside. So I don't know if they have said which character this person at the beginning was. Maybe they did, but I don't want to replay the whole scene because it's very slowly paced. Like, I'm not familiar with any of these names. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be by the end of this because it's only 5 episodes long. I don't have a really good memory when it comes to names and shit like that. So I'm just gonna refer to them for categorizations that I given to them. So the fucking asshole in command, dude, the guy with the mustache. Fuck that guy. Because like he kept saying that everyone else is like disoriented or in denial or they don't know what the fuck they're saying, and it's like, you son of a fucking bitch, you know? Like, everything he is doing and saying is like contradictory. It's ironic because he's the one that is acting in those bases, you know? And like, I hate it because every character in the show that has some kind of power or control, which was that guy. Then there was the other guy with the suit. That was another radiation engineer or whatever. And then the other guy with the suit with the goofy hair that looked like this. You know, that guy. Even though that guy was more ignorant than anything else, it seemed like. But like those, and then every other person of importance of politics just walked into this room, and they all just, and they all just like, there was one guy that said like, there's people vomited blood outside. I'm pretty sure this is worse than it actually looks like. And then the big boy, who may or may not have been Gorbachev himself, I'm not sure. I wasn't paying that much attention. I actually did Google Gorbachev as I was watching that to see like a picture, and I'm not sure. Gorbachev Pizza Hut. What is this? All Pizza Hut advert resurfaces with ex-Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev. Excuse me, there's a Pizza Hut ad with Gorbachev in it? Oh, I'm watching this. It's only a minute long. Oh my god, dude. There's a Pizza Hut ad with Gorbachev in it!
Это Горбачев. Горбачев? Это из-за него у нас в экономике бардак.
Да благодаря ему у нас новые возможности.
Это из-за него у нас политическая нестабильность.
Да благодаря ему у нас свобода.
Полный хаос.
Перспективы.
Политическая нестабильность.
Да благодаря ему.
But we got Pizza Hut. Motherfucker, I knew you would say that! And they go, yeah, Pizza Hut's awesome. Oh my fucking god.
Sometimes nothing brings people together like a nice hot pizza from Pizza Hut.
I can't believe I just watched that. That was awesome, dude. That's the kind of shit that I want to see. This entire reaction to Chernobyl was actually just a setup. It was just a setup for me to react to the Gorbachev Pizza Hut ad at the end. That was awesome, dude. No, I guess so it wasn't him because it didn't have the thing in the head, okay? So if we see a guy with the fucking thing in the head, like the burn mark or scar or whatever the fuck that is, then we'll know that is Gorbachev. But the boy that was the old man with the cane, that wasn't him. It was someone else, I think. So, alright. The episode starts and we see this old man record a bunch of tapes and immediately commit suicide. And it seems like he committed suicide at the exact same time that the reactor exploded. Because then we went back 2 years and 1 minute specifically. And I saw the 1 minute and I was like, whoa, that's specific. And then we saw a minute of this woman in like this apartment. And then after a minute, we saw the explosion in the background. And it's like, okay, so that man was looking at the watch and he was planning on committing suicide at the exact same moment that the core blew up. What's infuriating about the show is that you keep seeing the worker, the guy who's just here trying to do his job and survive. And it's like, dude, go and check what the fuck happened there. And people come and tell him, this is what happened. And they go, no, that's not real. Shut up. Go back and recheck. Or, fuck, that's your fault. He's delusional. You instead. You know, like, that's what they kept doing. Because, like, this entire thing basically ran on this denial that people do. And it's like the most infuriating thing when people do this, right? It's when something happens and it's so fucked that your reaction to it is to not believe it and ignore it. Like, if you ignore it, it's not real. Like, that's how your brain is treating it. So if you go like, no, it's fine. The reactor didn't blow up. This is what happened instead. Shut up. That's what happened. You keep saying that as if it was the truth. Because, like, the truth is too difficult to actually accept. And what ends up happening is that completely puts you away from reality. Like, you're completely abandoned reality and whatever the fuck went on. And decided to settle for your own personal version of what you perceive to be true. That you made up in your own mind. Because that way, it's like, oh yeah, millions of people are not going to die. And I'm not going to die if I believe this reality. So I'm just going to believe in that one. Because that one, it's easier. It's the best one. So that's probably the one that it is, right? Right? But the problem is that when you do that, you are causing collateral damage. Because, like, I took off my glasses at some point, didn't I? I'm sorry. I was about to say, like, yeah, my face feels lighter. Like, you caused collateral damage, which he did immediately after the explosion. He said, like, oh, call the firemen or whatever, you know, like some shit blew up. Okay, we gotta fix it. We gotta need help from the fire department. So they just call more people in. And it's like, no, the people that attended to this place to try and stop it are gonna die of radiation poisoning because this man is unable to, like, have a reality check of, like, this is what actually is happening. This is the situation. It's a terrible situation. But the least you can do is to not get 1,000,000 people killed as a result. But it did. Because it's this weird fucking mentality of, like, someone tells you this is a problem and you say, shut up, that's not real. It's like, dude, don't come to me with problems. We're not looking for problems, okay? We're looking for solutions. So if you come to me with any of your negativity, get the fuck away from my face. We need solutions here, okay? So go and fix that shit. That's what we need to do. And it's like, motherfucker, you're ignoring the problem. I appreciate your mentality of we gotta fix shit, but you are using that as a cover to the mentality of accepting what is true. You're using it as a way of escaping what it is a fact. Because what's real, like reality, is so fucked that your brain just decides to hide itself in its shell of like, no, it's okay though, we can fix this. And it's like, no, you can! You gotta run and you gotta evacuate the fucking town, dude! Because as we saw in the ending, town's over, probably a city away. Birds were dying due to the radiation. Radiation is going to different cities. That's the magnitude of the situation. And instead, because of your stubborn and ignorant and just awful, awful nature, and your refusal to believe and, like, to believe reality, to accept what is a fact, you have put everyone in a situation where I don't know how many people died in Chernobyl. I don't know how many people died in Chernobyl. That's the thing. It's that, like, okay, so I'm actually not going to look that up. I could, because this is history, and I could just look it up right now. I'm not gonna, because I want to know where the show goes. Because I don't have a full picture of what actually happened in Chernobyl, as if I was there, because I wasn't born in that era. I'm not Russian. You know, I don't even live in the same continent, nowhere even close. So I only know what you know as, like, general culture, right? But I don't actually know the specifics, and I'm not gonna look those up because I wanna see it happen in front of my eyes, as fucked as it might be. So it's like, oh my god, like, I'm not sure how much I can talk about this show. I usually, if you're new here, I usually do, like, I don't know, 40 minutes long episodes where I just, like, talk as in a discussion or review manner of the episode that I just watched. I talk a lot. And usually I do, like, a full deconstruction or, like, theories or something like that. I'm not sure how much I can say about this show because it's, like, fucked up shit is happening. There are clear people to blame. And they even talked about at the beginning of, like, you're, like, lies and what the problem with lies is, what the most terrifying thing is, which is, like, there is a point where nobody even knows what the truth is anymore, and then it's like, but there's always, like, people are looking for someone to blame. Something like that. Something along those lines was said. And it's like, they're clearly showing us that there were people that we could blame for some shit that went down. And it's like, oh boy, I'm blaming them because things could have been handling a lot better. Because, like, that's the thing, is that it's not only the fact that the core blew up. It's not only the fact that the core fucking blew up and then we're in the worst imaginable situation possible. It's that the situation got worse right when it started. Fuck me. So the most terrifying I mean, I wouldn't consider it terror or horror. It's just like, it's fucked and you hate it. You hate to see it because it's infuriating, because it's politics. It's both. It's a multitude of things, right? It's like, I'm saying that the guy that was in charge, the mustache guy, that motherfucker was in denial. He was also a piece of shit. He just had this mentality, and also he probably was to some degree afraid to actually like talk about what actually happened. Not face consequences. Like, if he pretends that it didn't happen, that it didn't happen. And then he went and talked to like every like fucking suit that existed, and everyone in like every suit. Like, nobody decided to be cautious. They decided to double down on the fact that no, we're fine though. And it's like, oh my god, dude. I hate it. Like, I hate that because it's like that is like the worst of humanity just coming together. But not even because like none of those people were actively killing someone. They were passively killing people. They were through negligence or self-delusion murdering people. They weren't pulling a gun on someone and shooting them in the face, but they might as well have. That would have been better. Honestly. Like, holy shit. Like, the thing about the show is that it's just gonna be this, won't it? Because it's like, I know what happened to Chernobyl. Like, and we saw it happening. But the thing is that we're gonna get to see it happen, right? We're gonna get to experience it, and it's gonna be fucked up. And I guess to that degree, it's a good reaction show. I'm not sure how much I can take from it from a review or discussion about it, There's definitely a lot of discussion and reviewing and stuff to talk about if we talk about like the politics of it. But it's like, I don't think I'm qualified to talk about politics. Also, I don't think I'm qualified to psychoanalyze any of these characters, It's like, I'm just gonna sit here and I'm just gonna watch this and see how it develops and suffer in the process, because this is a miserable watch. It really is. And I think I managed to handle it pretty well, at least this one episode. And most of it was because I just kept talking and just saying dumb bullshit, which is what I do all the time. But that helped to alleviate things for me a little bit. So my ability to do that, I am thankful for. But it's like, oh my god, this entire scenes with like everyone just doing the worst possible decisions. Just murdering people, not directly, just passively. It's like, oh my god. Yeah, we saw the hospital scene. A lot of people are just gonna start showing up at the hospital. Then they call in the expert, and the expert just... Dude, the fucking moment with the expert that they called in the phone, like, near the end, they were like, an accident happened at Chernobyl, and he's like, what happened? And they told him the fucking bullshit that the guy in charge said, and he was like, how much radiation? What does the counter say? And they said, we've been told 3.6. And here's the thing, is that everyone in this episode has been said like 3.6, not too little, not terrible, like, kind of radiation. But when they call in the expert, I'm not sure exactly what his role was, but he was essentially the expert, because they called him so he can be like a consultant, essentially, like answer questions for us. Don't get into politics, that's not your job, but you're here to answer questions for us, essentially. So I'm just calling him the expert, and he said 3.6. That's still like a pretty decent amount. You want to evacuate everyone in the surface. And before he could finish the sentence, they just ignored it and kept talking. Because of course, it's always about that. It's like, no, I don't want to hear what you have to say. Just give me a solution. I hate that, dude. Every time. A lot of characters are clueless. So a lot of what they do is based off just they don't know any better. And it's like, there's those two characters that actually went to like the water pumps and they started like turning the bulbs and shit. And it's like those people, they're doing their best. And I actually do like that they have managed to give me a fair share of characters that were not guilty of much or of anything really. Because like I'm not sure why the disaster itself happened. And I'm not sure if looking that up would be a spoiler, so I'm not gonna do it just in case. And I appreciate that they give me like a fair share of characters that are not like guilty of much, if anything. Because I don't even know why the fucking core exploded. Like I don't know what was the cause of the disaster specifically, and I'm not sure if I want to look that up in fear that it might be a spoiler of some kind. But it's like it's like we get to see all of these workers and they're literally just trying to do their best and they're trying to survive and they're trying to comprehend the situation or straight up do comprehend the situation, and they just get shafted by the guy in command who's just like, no, it's fine though. And we even get to see a couple characters that were like, one of them has given up. He's like, we're fucked, or like, just like, there's nothing we can do, and he's right. But then there were the other two characters that said, no, we still had to go and try. We still have to pump the water or whatever. Even though it does nothing because the core doesn't exist anymore, they still want to go and do it because it's like, we can just accept that shit happened and that it's as bad as it actually is and that we're all dead, or we can try and do this and hope for the best. Because like that's the thing, is that they don't know, they don't have the full information. They have some information, but then it's up to them if they want to believe it or not. Up to, do I want to believe that I'm fucking dead by radiation poisoning already, or do I want to believe that I can save people because it's not as bad as they saying it is, so maybe we can contain it by pumping the water. Like, they don't know that, so they just decided, we're gonna try doing this because this is like, at least this is a right thing to do, and that is commendable to some degree, right? And then we have people like the firefighter, completely clueless as to what's going on. And then they just go in, and then they just start hosing the thing, and then they have to breach in or whatever, trying to stop the fire from spreading. Because of course they have to do that, that's their job. But it's like, they don't know any better. And there was even, they said graphite in the outside of the building. And I'm not sure how graphite comes into place with nuclear reactors, but I assume it was either part of the core or like part of the surroundings of the core or something like that. I don't even know what the core is, by the way, but it was pretty in there, and it's still super heavily irradiated. So what ends up happening is that one of the fucking firemen literally just grabs this piece of like, I don't know what this is, just some kind of rubble, I guess. They don't give a shit. And then later on we see a scene where the main fire guy is hosing in, and then he looks bad and he sees the guy that grabbed the thing just like screaming in pain, and he takes his glove off and his hand is just melting, it's just falling up to pieces. And it's like, yeah, that was a piece of the core, wasn't it? That was in there and it blew up and now it's here. And it's like, oh my god, that's so terrible. That's awful. And it's like, oh my god. Like, we actually... And we even got that scene. We even got that scene where just a bunch of civilians, and like, including the wife of the fireman or whatever, we got to see a bunch of civilians, and they're all like, oh man, look at the pretty lights. Ah, that's weird. Let's go to a place where we can look at it better. And it's like, oh my god. Like, they don't know. Like, they don't know, and I can't blame them for not knowing. I keep saying that they're dumb or like, run bitch run or whatever, but it's like, I can't blame them for not knowing. It was the 80s, and also Russia, like socialist Russia, and also nothing like this has ever happened before. So it's like, I can't say anything about it. I really can't. And then we got to see that full shot that lasted like a full 1.5 minutes or whatever, when everyone's just looking at it, and then we see like the wind and the people's hairs like blowing and whatever. And it took me a little bit to realize, but it's like, oh, the fall off is coming to them. like you can actually see the smoke and then the fallout from the smoke, the particles of radiation in the air. You can see the fucking irradiated particles of whatever, of the accident, and they're just falling on all these people. They're falling on the children. They're falling on the babies. They don't know. They're just looking at it. They literally said, like, man, it's weird. Do you think it's like metal? It's like, yeah, I don't know what that is. It's like, oh my god. Like, that's terrible. That's terrible, dude. Oh my god. So, I don't know if there's anything else I need to watch. I'm looking at the shot of the smoke going to like a different town. And I'm not sure about this, but I think it is. We get to see a shot where there's just this giant forest, like a border in between cities. And you see the smoke and the top and the forest. There is a line of the forest that is just orange. Just orange. Just straight up orange. And that is the part that is underneath the smoke. The surroundings are green. But the part that is underneath the smoke is orange. And it's like, oh my god. Like, oh my fucking god. That is so... Ugh. That is so fucking too much, dude. And then just people living their lives casually. They're happy. They're just talking. Kids are running to school or whatever. Deathbird. Fuck you. Episode ends. That's... Oh my god. Is there anything else we can see? We should talk about? There was something I wanted to talk about. I forgot. Yeah, they sent this other guy, the second guy in command. They sent him to like... So he went and said, hey, the core exploded. There's nothing. It's terrible. There's more than 200 what the readings say. And then they say like, no, we don't believe you. Fuck you. We don't believe you. Go and see for yourself. It's like, go into the eye of the beast and look at it with your own eyes and then report back to us. It's like, might as well tell him to go die because I'm pretty sure he's not going to survive through this. You can't survive going through looking at the fucking eye of the storm and then say, yeah, I lived. You can't do that. Like, he lived for like an hour and I'm not sure for how long that's going to be. He's going to be dead. Like, I can guarantee you 100% that person did not live more than, I don't know, I'm going to say a decade, in between a week to a decade. Anywhere in between those, he died at some point there. But he did not live a normal life. Because he went and looked into the reactor himself. And he looked at it, and then he turned around, and then his entire face was red. It's like, yeah, you're fucked, dude. And it's because they told him to go fucking die, essentially. Go and look at it yourself. And then he came back to report to them. And he's clearly, like, destroyed, super sick, super red. And they're yelling at him. You know? They're yelling at him because they don't believe him. You know? And I said that. I said, like, you're sending him to die, and then you're also not going to not believe what he says. Because it's that the problem is that your ego is too big. Your ego and your sense of like, no, it's fine though. You want to believe that, but it's like, motherfucker, you're causing more damage. You're making this situation a million times worse than it actually is already, which is terrible. Just because you refuse to actually act based on the facts that are given to you. You just want to believe that things are not as bad, but always assume the worst. Always assume the worst and act on it. You know? You can never be too safe. And instead you decided to tackle the problem head on like a dumbass and die. And not only you die, but everyone else died. So many innocent lives. And like, there's a shot where they're carrying the dude in charge of the plant with the mustache after he vomited. They're just carrying him to like a hospital or whatever. And he's super disoriented because of course. And like he's being carried over. And you can see that he's looking. I hit the mic for like a bit, sorry. But he's looking at all of these people. Like literally their bodies are falling to pieces. Just blood everywhere. And it's like, I hope this guy realizes what he's done. And I'm not sure if he did right away, but it's like he needs to realize the situation he's in and the situation of what he did, dude. Like, at least I want this fucking guy to realize and get a reality check. So, because, like, otherwise I'm just like, I hate you so much already. I mean, I already do, but, like, make it a little bit better at least. Okay. So, anything else I need to watch? No, just, I think that's it. I think that's all I can say about this episode. Just terrible, disheartening, depressing, but, you know, good episode. Good show. I can tell the show's gonna be really good. It did a lot of things really good. Yeah, I'm excited to watch it. Hopefully, episodes in the future won't be super gruesome or, like, shocking or whatever. Because I feel like I can tolerate this level of fucked up shit that is happening. I hate it, but I can tolerate it. You know, like I can watch this show because I'm like squeamish. Not well. I don't know if squeamish is the right word, but it's like I don't like watching fucked up shit a lot because it's either A, too depressing and I'm just go like, why would I do this to myself? Or B, if it's like super scary or shocking, I can't deal. So I'm glad that the show is not doing either. It is super dramatic and it is super fucked, but it's to a level that I'm like, I'm good with this. You know, I can tolerate it. It's fucked up. I hate it. I hate what's happening, but this is to a nice level that I can take. And I pretty sure it gets worse, by the way. I'm pretty sure it gets worse. Because, like, I've heard stuff about Chernobyl. Not the show, but, like, Chernobyl itself, the event. I've heard shit. And this is just the beginning, you know? This is just the first couple hours. We got 4 more episodes to go, and we'll see what goes down then. But for now, good episode. Alright, everyone. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Chernobyl. If you would like to see the next one, it's already up on Patreon as well as full length. Check links in the description, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I'll see you next time. Take care.